All right, speaking of books, one local woman wrote a children's book that tackles the topic of how hard it can be to lose a loved one, especially when we're young.
Yeah, that's the first big loss that can be really tough. Emily Frank got her inspiration for her book when her beloved grandmother passed.
It's all about the signs she sees that remind her of her grandmother and reminds her that her grandmother's always near. Melissa Cole shares her story.
Hi everybody, we are here with first-time author Emily Franke in her hometown of Wallingford. Emily, it's so nice to be with you, and I want to hear about this book that you wrote really in honor of your grandmother.
So yes, so this story actually came to me in the middle of the night. I was really missing her one night. It was the end of January of this year, and I felt this feeling to write this story, and I wrote this story just in the notes of my phone, and I ended up sending it out. The next morning I had 7 missed calls from all these different publishers.
Wow. All right, so what is the name of the book?
So the name of the book is called The Ladybug Who Lived on a Four-Leaf Clover. The ladybug represents my grandmother, and she was Irish, hence the four-leaf clover. And the ladybug and the four-leaf clover actually stand for extra good luck.
Let's talk a little bit about the story and really your grandmother and how much she meant to you.
So my grandma and I had a very close relationship. She was one of a kind. I like to say she was one of the good ones. She and I used to actually look for four-leaf clovers. Again, hence why this story is so important. You know, she passed at 83, so it was a year ago in June. It was hard, you know, never really dealing with loss before, and this was my first significant loss, being 23. It was tough. So, you know, I wanted to find a way where when I wrote this story, I can help not only myself grieve, but my family, friends, you know, just anyone. And now that this story has been out, I've been able to do that. My twin sister illustrated my story, Haley Franke. She also has never been an illustrator before. She's into, you know, performing arts and things, and she's very creative. So she was able to illustrate this story, and we did it together, and it's like a family affair.
Going through the story, your grandmother is really evident in ladybugs, and you see her around in real life too.
Yes, yeah, so all the time, especially when I need it the most, there's a ladybug. It pops up. Even if it's not a concrete ladybug, I'll still have signs where I'll see, you know, clovers, or there'll be, you know, ladybug flags or signs. One of the most special pages in the story, I would say, is this one right here. This actually is where the ladybug, my grandma, is showing a memory of me and her, reminding me that when I'm sad, to take yourself back to when we used to look for four-leaf clovers in the grass. This page, I think, is one of the most important because it reminds you when you're sad, or anyone, remember the memories, and you have them with you. That's like a hug from them, you know? And then the last page as well, one of my favorite pages, is my slogan that I like to say. There are signs everywhere, just look around. This I wanted to add in because I wanted others to be able to feel, you know, their loved one with this book as well. I think this is important because not everyone sees their loved one as a ladybug. They may see it as a cardinal or a rainbow, and I felt like they can connect to this story as well.
And what do you hope little kids or even young adults who read this will take away from it?
I hope that the biggest thing I want them to take away from this story is just to remember that they are still with you, even if you can't see them. Especially if you see a butterfly and you're like, oh, that's my grandma or my sister or my mom. I want them to know that even though they're not physically here, they are still always with you.
And something interesting is that while we've been filming, there's actually been a little ladybug around.
There has. In this table that we picked, for some reason, there was a feeling and there was a ladybug crawling right on it. So she, again, was here.
Your grandma's with us today.
Always. Yep. She was here for my graduation party here, and she's here again.
Oh my gosh, so nice. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I had a pleasure, and this was awesome. Thank you.
What a wonderful book. It's available on Amazon or emilyfrankauthor.com. You can also get a personalized copy if you order from her website like that. You know, I totally believe in that. I know my dad, all of us in our family started seeing cardinals as he passed, and that's still the sign for us. I mean, sometimes I'll literally say, hey, Dad, and a cardinal appears. So I love the whole premise. So great job.
And I love ladybugs as well. All right, still ahead.